Your kindness is slowly destroying you. That smile you keep wearing, that constant availability, that struggle you have to say no, none of it is making you a stronger person. It's quietly turning you into a smaller and more exhausted version of yourself. Every time you say yes while your heart is loudly whispering no, you are performing a slow form of self-destruction. You are placing your purpose on the altar of approval, trading your real destiny for temporary acceptance from people who will not even remember your effort in a few days. The graveyard is full of people who were too gentle to fight for their dreams, too pleasant to protect their potential, too scared of rejection to disappoint anyone except themselves. And right now, you are losing something too. Every minute you spend trying to keep everyone else satisfied, you lose a piece of your own life. Your potential is quietly leaking away while you smile and nod and agree to things that steal your peace, your energy, and your purpose. I want to talk to you today about something that may sound strange. At first, you must stop being overly friendly. I'm not telling you to become mean. I'm not telling you to stop caring about people. What I'm telling you is this. Many of you are destroying your own future by trying to please everyone around you. You are so busy being nice that you have no time left to be great. Let me share something that happened to me years back. I was sitting in my office late at night working on a project that didn't even belong to me. A colleague had asked for a little help, and somehow that little help turned into me creating his whole presentation from scratch. My phone kept ringing, people wanting advice, wanting my time, wanting favors, and I kept saying yes to every single request. My desk was piled with other people's tasks. My schedule was filled with meetings I didn't even need to be part of. My energy was tied up in solving problems that had nothing to do with my purpose. And under all those outside demands, hidden beneath paperwork and messages, was a small notebook where I had written down my own dreams and goals. It was gathering dust because I was too busy being agreeable to focus on what truly mattered. That night, I looked at the time and realized it was almost 2 a.m. I had been at the office for nearly 18 hours straight. I had missed dinner with my family. And for what? To be nice, to be liked, to avoid disappointing people who probably wouldn't have lifted a finger if I needed help. At that moment, I realized I wasn't being friendly. I was being foolish. I was sacrificing my purpose on the altar of being the good one. Many of you are doing the same thing right now. You are saying yes when you should be saying no. You are giving away your most precious resource, your time, to people who don't even truly appreciate it. You are placing other people's wants above your purpose. Being too friendly is not kindness. It is a slow form of self-betrayal. When you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one, including yourself. Your relationships become unbalanced. People start expecting your sacrifice. They begin seeing your time, your energy, and your effort as something they deserve automatically. And even worse, you start believing that false idea too. The real danger of being too friendly isn't what it makes others think. It's what it makes you think about your own worth. Start believing that your value comes from how much you give away, how reachable you are, how much you tolerate. You begin to measure your worth by what others take from you instead of who you actually are. Let me tell you what happens when you stay too friendly for too long. First, you become drained. Your energy is not endless. Every time you say yes to something that has nothing to do with your purpose, you say no to the things that do. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and many of you are running on nothing because you've given everything away. Second, you become quietly resentful. It starts as a small whisper in your mind, wondering why you are always the one picking up the slack, always the one adjusting, always the one giving more than you receive. That whisper becomes louder until one day the resentment spills into your relationships, damaging the very connection you were trying to preserve. Third, you lose respect. Yes, respect. People do not respect those who fail to respect themselves. When you let others walk over your time, your boundaries, your energy, you are saying loud and clear, my time is not valuable, my limits don't matter, my purpose isn't important, and people will believe you. But the most heartbreaking part is this: miss your destiny. You were not created to be everyone's helper. You were not born to exist as everyone's emotional safety net. You were created with a calling, with unique gifts, with a purpose only you can fulfill. But you cannot live that purpose if every request, every demand, every expectation pulls you away from your path. Now let's talk about boundaries, healthy ones. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges. They don't cut off connection, they create real connection. When you have boundaries, people know what to expect. They understand that you value your time and your effort. Strangely enough, they respect you more because of it. Think about someone you deeply admire. Is it the person who is always available, always saying yes, always putting themselves last? Or is it the person who knows their priorities, values their time, and knows exactly when to say yes and when to say no? Setting boundaries is not selfish. It is wise management of your life. You have been given time, energy, talents, and opportunities. You are responsible for how you use them. Being overly friendly is often a sign of being careless with your purpose. Many of you fear that if you stop being so friendly, people won't like you. Let me tell you a hard truth. If people only like you because you never say no, because you're always available, because you constantly put their needs first, they don't truly like you. They like your obedience. They like your effort. They like the convenience of your sacrifice. But they do not like the real you because you haven't shown them who you are. You've shown them a version of you shaped by fear. There is a big difference between kindness and being taken advantage of. True kindness comes from strength. It is a free choice you make from a place of self-respect and inner fullness. Being taken advantage of comes from fear. It is what happens when you don't value yourself enough to protect your own boundaries. Kindness says, I see your need and I choose to help because I care. Being you says, I have to help because I'm scared you won't like me if I don't. Kindness fills you. Being taken advantage of empties you. I have watched too many gifted people waste their lives because they didn't know how to say no. I have seen incredible individuals stuck in average situations because they were too busy carrying everyone else's load to climb toward excellence. I have seen people with genius ideas never change the world because they were too friendly to shake up the environment around them. Don't allow that to become your story. Let me tell you about Marcus, a talented young man I mentored years ago. When I met him, he was working close to 80 hours a week at a job he disliked simply because he didn't want to upset his boss. His weekends were consumed by family duties he didn't truly want to handle, but he couldn't bring himself to say no. His friends regularly took his kindness for granted, borrowing money they never repaid, coming to his place unannounced, expecting him to drop everything for them. Marcus was everybody's friend, but he had no time to be his own friend. He had dreams of starting a business, but between work and his constant yes to everyone else, he barely had time to breathe. One day I asked him a question that shook him. I said, Marcus, what would happen if you disappeared tomorrow? He looked puzzled, so I explained, your company would replace you. Your family would find other ways to deal with their issues. Your friends would look for someone else to lean on. Life would continue, but your purpose, the thing only you can bring into this world, would be gone forever. That hit him deeply. He realized he had been living as if his only worth was in what he could do for others, not in what he was created to accomplish. Over the next year, Marcus rebuilt his life. He set clear work hours and kept them. Even though his boss resisted at first, Marcus stayed firm. He stopped saying yes to every family request that wasn't urgent. He had sincere conversations with his friends about how their relationships had become one-sided. Some friendships ended. It was painful, but necessary. With boundaries in place, Marcus finally had time to focus on his dream. He worked on his business, at night and during weekends. Slowly it grew. He cut back his work hours. 2 years later, he left his job and ran his business full-time. The best part? The people who truly cared about him respected his boundaries. Those relationships became deeper and more meaningful. The ones that could not survive his boundaries were never real relationships to begin with. Today, Marcus employs dozens of people and helps small farmers bring their products to the market. He is making a real impact that would have never happened if he had stayed overly friendly. I'm not telling you to stop caring about people, I'm telling you to care about your purpose even more. Think of an airplane emergency. They always say put your oxygen mask on first. Why? Because if you run out of air, you cannot help anyone else. The same rule applies to your life. If you keep giving away all your energy, you will have nothing left for the mission you were put on this earth to fulfill. Your time is not unlimited. Once a moment is gone, it never returns. Every yes to something unimportant becomes a no to something meaningful. Stop being too loose with your time. Stop giving your energy to everything and everyone. Stop saying yes while your soul is saying no. This is not about becoming selfish. It is about becoming focused. It is understanding that you cannot be everything for everyone, and you were never meant to be. It is knowing that the greatest gift you can offer the world is not your constant availability. It is the full expression of your purpose. Many people walk through life without ever drawing a line, without ever saying enough, without ever protecting their dreams. They become human doormats, letting everyone step on their time and energy. Then they wonder why they feel empty, worn out, and frustrated. They wonder why their dreams never take shape, why their goals stay unreachable, why their purpose never unfolds. The answer is simple. They never learn to choose themselves. Your no is as important as your yes, maybe even more important. Every major achievement in history came from someone who said no to distractions and yes to focus. Every breakthrough, every new idea, every forward step happened because someone refused to let their attention scatter and instead directed their energy toward what mattered most. I have watched countless talented people who simply could not say no. They were bright, capable, full of potential, but they never reached what they could have reached because they could not turn down the never-ending demands on their time and energy. At the same time, I've seen people with half their talent achieve twice as much simply because they understood the strength behind the word no. No is not pushing others away. It is protecting yourself, your time, your energy, your mission. It is the recognition that your resources are limited and must be used wisely. The strongest people I know are not the ones who say yes to everything. They are the ones who know exactly when to say no. Their no comes from confidence, not fear. It comes from clarity, not confusion. It comes from understanding their value, not doubting it. Many of you spend your days reacting to other people's urgencies, answering every buzz, every notification, every request for just a minute of your time. Those minutes collect. Those interruptions multiply. Soon your life doesn't feel like your own anymore. It becomes controlled by whoever makes the loudest demand. Stop giving away your strength. Stop letting others run your schedule. Start saying no to what does not line up with your purpose. And watch how quickly you begin moving closer to your goals. Now, let's talk about respect. Many people believe that being friendly, agreeable, and always available earns respect. This is one of the biggest lies in our culture today. Real respect does not come from making yourself small so others can feel big. It does not come from always saying yes. It does not come from being the person everyone can step over. Respect comes from integrity, from standing for something, from having principles that do not shift with every passing opinion. It comes from valuing yourself enough to expect others to value you too. It comes from knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. When you have strong boundaries, when you say no to what does not serve your purpose, people may be briefly disappointed or even upset, but in the long run, they will respect you more because of it. They will see that your time matters. They will understand that your energy is valuable. They will realize that you are someone who knows your worth. Compare this with what happens when you are too friendly, too available, too eager to please. At first, people may seem happy with you, but over time, they start taking you for granted. They begin expecting your sacrifice. They assume your cooperation. And slowly, they start losing respect for you. I have seen this pattern play out again and again. The person who never says no becomes the person everyone asks first. Not because they value them deeply, but because they know they won't refuse. The person who drops everything for others becomes the person others drop when someone more convenient appears. The person who always puts themselves last becomes the person others also place last. Building respect through boundaries is not about being harsh or distant. It is about being clear and consistent. It is about stating your expectations and staying true to them. It is about teaching others how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you want others to respect your time, you must respect it first. If you want others to value your energy, you must value it first. If you want others to honor your boundaries, you must honor them yourself before anyone else does. Here is a difficult truth many of you need to hear. Some of the relationships in your life are unhealthy. Some of the people you bend over backward to please are taking advantage of you. Some of the connections you are desperately trying to maintain are draining you instead of lifting you. Not every relationship deserves your energy. Not every connection supports your purpose. Not everyone in your life wants what is best for you. How do you recognize these toxic relationships? Look for these signs. You feel tired after spending time with them, not uplifted. They take far more than they give. They reach out only when they need something. They disappear when you are the one struggling. They ignore or push against your boundaries. They make you feel guilty for putting your needs first or for chasing your goals. Your success seems to bother them or make them jealous. They often undermine your confidence or question your choices. You find yourself apologizing for things that were never your fault. You feel like you must tiptoe around them. If many of these signs sound familiar, you need to make some hard choices. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and even for them in the long run is to create space. Some relationships need distance, some need boundaries, some need to end completely. This is not about blame or bitterness. It is about understanding that just as you have a purpose, you also have priorities. And if a relationship consistently pulls you away from those priorities instead of supporting them, that relationship may be costing you more than you realize. I am not saying to cut people off the moment things get difficult. I am saying to look at the pattern, not the exceptions. I am saying to consider whether the relationship adds to your life or takes away from it. I am saying to ask yourself whether this connection is guiding you toward your purpose or pulling you away from it. Your time here is limited. Your energy is not endless. You cannot afford to waste these precious resources on relationships that drain you instead of develop you. This brings me to a crucial point. Your purpose and your priorities must work together. Many people say they know their purpose, but their priorities contradict it. They say they want to build a business, but spend more time watching TV than working on their plan. They say they want to get healthy, but choose convenience over nutrition. They say they want deeper relationships, but choose scrolling over real conversations. Your priorities reveal your true purpose, not the one you talk about, but the one you actually follow. If you want to know what you are truly committed to, look at how you spend your time, your energy, your money. Look at what you say yes to and what you say no to. Look at what gets your best effort and what gets whatever is left over. If your current priorities do not match your stated purpose, then one of them must change. Either your priorities or your purpose must shift. Either live what you claim to value or be honest about what you actually value based on how you live. Too friendly often causes a complete mismatch between your purpose and your priorities. You say your family is your priority, but you cannot say no to your boss, so you miss your child's important moments. You say your health is your priority, but you cannot say no to social events, so you skip sleep and exercise. You say your business is your priority, but you cannot say no to distractions, so your business never grows. You must stop this cycle. Bring your priorities back in line with your purpose by learning to say no to what does not help you move forward. Here are some practical steps to stop being too friendly. First, get clear on your purpose. You cannot protect what you have not identified. Write down your mission. What were you made to do? What contribution are you meant to make? What problem are you here to solve? Until you know your purpose, you will never know what deserves your yes and what deserves your no. Second, examine your current commitments. Write down everything you have said yes to, every task, every responsibility, every repeating activity. Next to each one, note whether it aligns with your purpose or not. Be completely honest. You will likely find that many of the things you have agreed to do are not taking you anywhere near your goals. Third, prepare simple ways to say no. Many people struggle with no because they do not know how to say it politely. Create short, clear, calm responses to decline requests. Practice them until they feel natural. Remember, you do not need a long explanation. "I'm not able to take that on right now" is a full sentence. Fourth, start small. Do not try to transform every relationship overnight. Begin with low-pressure situations. Say no to the telemarketer. Decline the optional meeting. As you grow stronger in the skill, apply it to bigger areas of your life. Fifth, expect pushback. When you start setting boundaries, people will test them. They are used to your yes and will not like losing it. Some will push harder. Some will try to guilt you. Some may even react negatively. Stand your ground. The temporary discomfort of defending your boundary is nothing compared to the long-term pain of always letting it be crossed. 6. Surround yourself with people who respect boundaries. Seek out those who honor your no, who do not take your time for granted, who appreciate your priorities. These relationships will give you strength to face the unhealthy ones. Finally, celebrate your growth. Every time you protect your boundaries, acknowledge it. Every time you say no to something that does not help your purpose, recognize that as a win. You are slowly reclaiming your life, decision by decision. Let me tell you about Sophia, a woman who came to one of my leadership events a few years ago. When I met her, she was exhausted, overwhelmed, and frustrated. As a community organizer, she said yes to every request, every project, every cause. She worked 70-hour weeks, stayed available by phone at all hours, and had not taken a vacation in 3 years. Her health was declining, her relationships were strained, and even with all her work, her overall impact was limited because she was stretched too thin to do anything with excellence. During a session about boundaries, something changed for Sophia. She realized that by trying to support everyone, she was actually supporting no one effectively, not even herself. She decided she needed change. It was difficult. She stepped away from several committees. She started turning her phone off after 8 p.m. She learned to delegate tasks she had always done alone. Some people in her community were upset and even called her selfish, but she stayed firm. With her regained time and energy, Sophia focused on the one area where she could make the biggest difference: youth mentorship. Instead of being involved shallowly in many things, she invested deeply in one. 2 years later, she sent me a letter. Her youth program had expanded to 3 locations and was showing measurable success keeping at-risk teens in school. She had trained 10 other mentors who were now leading their own groups. She secured stable funding through grants. She finally had time to rest properly. Her health improved. Her closest relationships grew stronger. And the most surprising part was this: the same people who resisted her boundaries at first became some of her biggest supporters. They admired her focus, her clarity, and her results. By stopping the habit of being too friendly, Sophia actually increased her positive impact on her community.